Plagiarism. You've probably heard the word before. If you haven't, you probably never went to school to have your reading teachers give a 30-minute long lecture about it. Plagiarism is defined in the Merriam-Webster dictionary as to steal and to pass off, use another's production without crediting the source. Now, if I were to have said that this definition was created by me and nobody else but me, that would be considered plagiarism. In journalism, plagiarism is known as the cardinal sin. If you plagiarize, there are no second chances. You could be fired or even locked up if serious enough. Sadly, plagiarism has become a common use by some journalists because they can get away with it, and it's hard to call a source reliable if they have been caught plagiarizing. No man is a better example of this than Filip Miucin. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Filip Miucin, the man behind IGN's worst scandal. Now, before we get into the juicy stuff, let's provide a bit of backstory. If you haven't heard of IGN, they're a news site that reports on all things gaming, technology, comics, and movies. They write reviews and articles about recent events in these categories. So I want to make one thing clear, what happened is in no way IGN's fault. They're still one of the most reliable sources when it comes to gaming. Okay? Okay. Now, enter Filip Miucin. At the time, he was an editor at IGN, and had written many reviews for them as well. On August 6, 2018, a YouTuber that goes by the name Boomstick Gaming posted a video claiming that Filip Miucin had plagiarized his review of the game called Dead Cells. There was too much evidence for it to be a coincidence.
Dead Cells takes the progression of a Metroidvania and integrates it into this procedurally generated action roguelite that has you slowly chipping away at its steep difficulty.
It takes the progression system of a Metroidvania and transforms it into a procedurally generated action roguelite.
In Dead Cells, you'll need to kill your way through a labyrinth of levels, all punctuated by boss encounters that starts off quite linear, but the more you play, the more routes and game mechanics will open up to you.
In Dead Cells, you fight your way through an ever-changing labyrinth of levels with branching paths.
He didn't just copy a few sentences. He copied it nearly word for word. Outcry happens and IGN launches an investigation. Miucin was fired later that night. IGN also began investigating his other reviews as well and removing them. IGN handled the problem very well. They caught the bad guy, and all they had to do was re-review the game as somebody who won't plagiarize, then forget Filip Miucin ever existed. Wrong. 3 days later on August 9th, Filip uploaded an apology video. In it, he apologizes to the developers of Dead Cells Motion Twin. However, he doesn't apologize to Boomstick Gaming, the man he originally plagiarized off of. And instead, all he has is this to say.
As for Boomstick, I have nothing but the best wishes for him, and I hope that his wave of success lasts a long time.
Not once does he apologize to the person he really needed to. He also started calling out Kotaku and their editor at the time, Jason Schreier. He reported on all of this for Kotaku.
Which, by the way, their news editor, Jason Schreier, tried to imply that my FIFA 18 review was also inauthentic by claiming that I copied it from Nintendo Life.
Spoiler, later it found that he had plagiarized that too.
And that's just so not the case. I mean, maybe he was implying that if you have similarly opinionated reviews, then you're just plagiarizing, or maybe he's just trying to get as many clicks off of my name right now as possible, or maybe he just likes kicking people when they're down. I don't know, I mean, check it out for yourselves and you be the judge.
He says that Kotaku was just reporting on him for money, yet the video he talks about it was fully monetized. And for his Dead Cells review, the one thing that had gotten him fired, well, it's just as apologetic as you expect.
The bottom line is that what happened with the Dead Cells review was not at all intentional.
He says that he had unintentionally plagiarized and therefore it wasn't his fault. Basically, in the end, he played the classic victim card. He also had the audacity to challenge Jason Schreier.
So you can keep looking, Kotaku, and please let me know if you find anything. I was lucky enough to get noticed on IGN through my YouTube channel, which, if in case you're wondering, is in fact all of my own original work.
As you would have guessed, this was a blatant lie. He had plagiarized not only many of his reviews, but he had even plagiarized from his coworkers, and his resume was copied from a template website. IGN straight up removed all of his works from their website. His personal YouTube channel, the thing he said was completely original, was littered with plagiarism. Many IGN employees took to Twitter apologizing for Filip, which is something they shouldn't even have to do. People thought it was safe to say Filip had learned his lesson, but we are far from wrong. A week later, on October 18th, 2018, he uploaded a video to his YouTube channel. All this video was mainly about Bluetooth transmitters for the Nintendo Switch. It's the beginning that really stands out.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for clicking on the video. I know, it's been a really long time since I uploaded. But while I've been gone, I've had time to reflect on things. You see, the ups and downs of this past year have made me realize just how much I love doing this. Making videos for you right here on YouTube. It's exactly where I want to be, and I hope that you stay along for the ride because I'm going to be working hard to make this channel better than it ever was before. So with that being said, let's take a look at the best Bluetooth audio transmitter for Nintendo Switch.
For a second, we almost get a real apology from him. He expects everybody to just forget about what happened, especially after he hadn't directly apologized to Boomstick Gaming. His video was received just as about you expect. He continues to regularly upload videos until April 19th, 2018. On this day, he uploads a video titled My Apology. Almost 8 months since this all began. In this video, he formally apologizes to everybody he plagiarized from. He did what he should have done in the first place and acted like an adult. After this, he only uploaded 7 more videos until going radio silent. Again, you would think this would be the end. Instead, this was far from over. On July 18th, 2020, he posted a new video called A Very Honest and Original Dead Cells Review. Oh boy, this should be good. He reviews the game he got fired for reviewing because he plagiarized. The video, he plays losing his job as if it was something to laugh about.
Everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at Dead Cells. When it comes to modern roguelike games, Dead Cells is on a whole other level of good. In fact, it's so good that the first time I tried reviewing it, it left me so speechless that I literally went looking for someone else's opinion to describe it.
As expected, this video wasn't received well. Look, I'll give him credit where credit is due. This actually was a very good review and the editing is on point. It's a shame that he ruined his career because he did have the potential to become the best editor in IGN. Anyways, back to the video. Miucin's ex-coworkers at IGN found about this, and their responses were just as you expect. They had every right to react like this. Imagine if somebody caused your company so much trouble and he's still doing just that. A lot of them tried to stay positive and offered him advice. What does Filip say in response to constructive criticism? He posts private DMs with an IGN employee who's concerned for him. He continued to further act like a baby by spitting in the face of his equally concerned co-workers. He still uploads content to this day on his YouTube channel. Usually they're just let's plays or commentary videos instead of reviews. Luckily, I think that Filip actually learned his lesson. Hopefully something like this doesn't happen again. In the end, a lot of people learned the lesson of what plagiarism can do to a person that abuses it. Hopefully Filip will find success with his own and original content, but just not reviews. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the story of Filip Miucin.